Morning sun waking us, pack the bags, hit the road. With my kids by my side, happiness will overflow. Adventures with
My family and I love going on adventures, especially camping trips. And I was inspired recently to make a painting out of felt. So I bought a felt kit. This is my first felt painting, and I had no idea exactly what I was doing. I just laid some pieces down and got started. Little did I know that as I was doing this, it would turn out to be a little camping adventure all in of itself. I found this long piece of black stiff felt that I already had stashed away with some other felt items. And then there's this little white kind of foam board that you have to use underneath your belting kit. It was a little difficult because my black sheet was so much bigger and I had to move it around a lot, and then I would miss it. And I don't think that that was very great for the needle tool that I was using. And of course, using this for the first time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was nervous about all the little black pieces coming through, but I wanted to add a few mixtures. Then after I added the grass, I was like, I think I need some water here. So I decided to start making this little blue water area, trying to add in some little rocks here and there. I wanted it to look like it was actually like flowing. So I just stabbed and stabbed and stabbed. It was a little ASMR action going on with the stabbing. It's, kind of cool. Then I grab out some of this white, and I want to add in some things that make it look like it's moving, little waves and things like that. And I really think that this helped make it, come alive a little bit more. Things have been really good with me lately, having my new job, but I always need something to look forward to. I need an adventure. I need an escape from the everyday. I love traveling. I love looking and finding new places and just exploring the world. I think as people, we're meant to live in nature, and I need that just as much as anyone else. And so a lot of my art, you'll see, always has some nature elements to it. If you have something that you always have to do to book or to look forward to, write in the comments. I'd love to know what are some of the things that you plan to do to just live your life more fully.
you, my dear. Every moment joy is near. Laughing, biking, hiking through, and these memories will grow. Dancing stars, summer nights, whispers of the water, holding hands, feeling bright, so much love like a child. Adventures with you, my dear. Every moment joy is near. Laughing, biking, hiking through, and these memories will grow. Canoeing down the silent stream, your laughter echoes in the breeze. Seeing the world with you, my dreams, filled with love and sweet peace.
So what is a camping trip but without trees? So I added a whole bunch of trees and it just looks like a big hot mess. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I tried to add a sky, and maybe I should have added the sky first in the background and then added the trees on top of that. So yeah, lesson learned over that experience. But here I am trying to add in some greenery. My problem was I did not have a lot of different values of green in this packet. So this was the main source of green, and it was just really hard to make it different colors so it would add more texture and depth to it. But I tried to do the tree trunks and branches as best of that I could. I wanted them to kind of overlap to be a little organic looking. But yeah, it mostly just kind of looked like a hot mess for a long while I was doing this. Obviously, you can tell it is my first time doing this. But overall, I'm not hating it, and I just really like the process. If you've never done needle felting before, you definitely should give it a try. It was pretty simple to do. So I had started to make these little flowers from a template, but as I was stabbing into the template and then I took it out, it did not hold the shape of the template. So I just, put them into the painting anyway. I wanted to add some long pieces of lavender type plants, the ones that have little purple petals on it. But I wasn't sure exactly how to make these tiny little pebbles. So I just did it all at one time. And then after I added that, then I'm like, oh, it looks kind of like a purple cactus. But you know what? We just keep trying and keep playing, because it's really just about the process, not the product. And that's what I always tell myself when I'm trying to do paintings, that it's going to look ugly at first. It's not going to be perfect. So I decided to add some other type of green to mix it in and add that leaf sort of texture from the plant, hopefully to make it look a little bit different. And I'm going for more abstract, right? Impressionism, not perfectionism. And I'm not going for it's got to look realistic. We're going a little whimsical with this one.
Footprints in the sand we leave, in the forest whispers sing. With you I always believe in the magic life can bring.
So I thought I would tell you a little story as I am felting this, just to add a little bit of interest, because it does go quickly, but it's also interesting to see how these types of things develop. But I also like when other people tell stories. So I have my own story. And when my daughter was 5 years old, it was her first canoe trip. And we went down the Buffalo River in Tennessee. It's a common place that we've been multiple times, but if you know anything about rivers, they always are changing and you never know what you could run into. At this point, my husband and I have been on several trips there, so we felt pretty confident. We put Kaylee in the middle, and of course she had on her little life jacket, but we didn't have any idea what was going to happen. We were about to be at the very end of this 4 or 5 hour canoe ride, and we were all tired, and there was just this last little maneuver before we reached the pull-off. But it was a tight spot surrounded by fallen trees and rocks, and the water was rushing over this rock that I did not see, and we ended up hitting it head on, and I literally flew out of the canoe and into the water. And my husband, Andrew, also fell out of the boat. But Kaylee, somehow, our little 5-year-old daughter at the time, was still in the canoe. And the water was filling up the canoe, and she was just in there screaming. Once we both popped out of the water, he was right by the canoe and was able to grab it to guide her, as the water was not deep at all. And then I had to float down a little bit further to catch our paddles. I was bruised up quite a bit, but what is an adventure without a few bruises? We were all fine, and even though it was a little bit scary, we laugh about it to this day, and we still keep canoeing or kayaking down rivers, and actually, we haven't flipped over since. So at this point in the felt painting, I decided that it really needed something to help it stand out a bit more, and I added this orange frame around the entire thing. And I really like the way that it turned out. So now all it needs is its final pieces, the actual camping part of this picture that I keep talking about, but you have not seen yet. So right here I am working on making the tent. I outline it in this black, and I'd already kind of like outlined the tree some with black and add a little lighter texture to them to hopefully to make them look a little bit better and stand out a little bit more. It's still giving the whimsy type vibes, but I added a bright red color for the tent. I always think of tents being red for some reason, even though we have never camped in a red tent, nor do we own a tent, not like this anyway. We have one of those canvas tents that is gigantic that we really like too. So yeah, so add in a little bit more red. Now it's time to make the fire pit, which is, the iconic piece of a camping trip is to always have a fire. And we love to roast marshmallows and have s'mores by the fire. We always have our camping chairs out there, although I wasn't quite sure how I could put that in here, so that detail is a little left out, but I just got a different colored fabrics and then put them together, and ripping it really helped give that organic shape of the fire. So there always has to be a sitting area, right? And while I didn't get to put my chairs in there, I did decide to hang a little hammock. You may not know exactly what this is when you see it, but this is how we hang our hammocks in the tree. I tried to rub this together and it did not work, but we just make a little loop with our hammocks and hang them from a tree branch, and the kids love to swing in it. It's so much fun. Sometimes we'll connect them from tree to tree, but in this one, I just decided to hang it from one limb, and there's the final piece. Thanks for watching.